I've been asked to explain the color wheel, so here we go. I don't know, I got this one, it's copyright 2007, so obviously I got it between now and then. And they're pretty self-explanatory. The color wheel is made up of primary colors, which is yellow, blue, and red. For some reason, some people think green is a primary color, but it is not. And then there's secondary colors, which would be orange, purple, and green. And then tertiary colors is what you mix a primary color with a secondary color, and you get a tertiary. That's what these colors in between are. And in terms of using the color wheel to help pick a sort of color palette for your work, complementary colors always go well together. That's on the back here, sort of shows you these where you can do complementary. And if you're unsure what a complementary color is, this little guy here, you can rotate it around. Let's say you're in, well, we're in yellow. Yellow and purple are complementary. I like using yellow and purple a lot. I do that with a lot of my work. I just like the way it looks. And of course, orange and blue are also complementary. And red and green are complementary, which I rarely ever use just because it's kind of a Christmas color. And if I do, I'll tone it down to more of a burgundy and a darker green, just because I'm not a real fan of bright red and green together. It really comes down to kind of what your personal preference on color is. But they have a thing, it's called split complementary too, where you've got the red-orange here, and these help set it up. And split complementary is a complementary color, and then it's the colors on either side of what would be the complementary color. Let's say we'll go back to orange and blue. So orange and blue are complementary, and a split complementary would be the blue-violet and the blue-green. So if you wanted to do a painting and you're trying to figure out some colors and you want something a little different, then you could use the orange, blue-green, and blue-violet would make a nice color combination. And this little dial just helps you spin it around and kind of help you pick your colors. They also have these things at Tetrad. It's a rectangle. It also just, it's just another way of coming up with color combinations. And then here, that would be the yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-violet, and red-violet, and it would be a nice color combination because you've got your warmer colors, although the green is tending toward cool. And of course, and this one is really nice because it tells you, what everything, a hue is, the name of a color, the tint, color plus white, tone, color plus gray, shade, and so on. So this is really good just to give you a basic, and again, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then you've got your value range here. This one's it's great because if you wanted to add, it just shows you, if you add red, kind of what you'll get. This is a painting I did. Basically, it's a complementary palette. And I did this one, it's actually on an acetate, which I don't really recommend, although it looks very cool. The problem with the acetate, it's very fragile, but it looks really cool on the other side as well. This is the front side, but honestly the back side almost looks better, but that's a side note. With this, what I do, these are with paint sticks, and I like to actually mix on the surface that I'm working on. And to get the purple, I used red and blue, a very dark blue. Can't remember if it was like a phthalo blue or I can't remember actually what blue it was, and a crimson color to get sort of a deeper purple. And then I used yellow with a little bit of white in it just to break down the yellow a little bit. I didn't want it too glaring. But I like to mix it on there because in some cases where you see where I didn't want quite as dark a purple, I would just not add as much blue to get a little bit of the lighter in there, and that's what I did. And then of course adding the white on top of, once I put this on, you get this nice light purple. And then up in here, adding the yellow and with a lot of the purple you get a little different color there. So that's what I like to do. This is, if you can't tell what it is, and a lot of people cannot, it is a phone receiver from an old phone. This is sort of the mouthpiece with the shadow of the cord, and this is the little thing that the receiver rests on, and this is part of the dial. So if you're wondering what that is, that's what it is. This one I don't think is going to show up very well. It's because this is on my monitor, but this is another example, a rare example of the complementary colors, green and red, that I use just because I wanted to do an apple, and then I did it's a very light green background. Again, these are with the paint sticks on canvas, and I mixed them all on the canvas. So I used a little bit of blue up in here with some yellow, and then of course the red and a little bit of blue to get the darker colors, and red and blue and a little bit of all of the primary colors to get sort of a brownish up here. But yeah, it's just not a very good example of a painting, but it's complementary color. This is another, basically it's a complementary color painting that I did on paper. It's actually the paint sticks on paper, and I like most of it, I guess. It's just a different angle. I thought, but it's a very dark blue, almost a purpley with yellow ochre. It sort of has a little orange, kind of, because it's more ochre, and this is more of a blue, very dark purple. The only thing I don't like is up in here, it's a lighter purple. That just didn't work, but overall, I think it's not bad. This is a watercolor on paper. It's basically just showing you what a warm color palette looks like. It's just reds and yellows, and then the black is not really just a black. It's basically a very, very dark red that I made. I think I just put black and red in together. Just, I think using plain black sometimes can look flat. So I like to, when I use a very dark color, mix it with, even if I do use black, I would mix it in with whatever color I'm sort of working with to give it a little richer look. And I think it helps tie it all together so that you don't see just black with the red and the yellow. I just want to throw this one in because I like it. It's just a monochromatic drawing with the paint sticks on paper. And I don't know, I just like it, so I thought I would throw it in there. This is actually one of my favorite paintings that nobody likes. It's an oil painting. It's 4 by 7 by 5 by 7, and it's almost monochromatic, although there's a little bit of this very light pink color, but it's basically blue. And then there's a little bit of the pink color in the lips. It's John Lennon. I think you can see that, but I don't know. I just really like it. It's one of my paintings from college, and there was something about it I really liked, but when I put it up in class, it was really one of the least received paintings that I did. I don't know. It's just, I guess the simplicity of it I like, but and then some of the subtleties in the paint, I don't know, I really like kind of this part and up. And again, the slide was dirty, I think, when I scanned that. I don't know how helpful I was with this. Probably not very, but these really are pretty self-explanatory if you buy one. And my recommendation to anyone who's just starting out in painting is work with colors that you like first and go from there. And I will challenge you to then do something in a color you don't like, because my first semester in college, my drawing teacher asked us what was our least favorite color, and at the time I hated orange. I just didn't like it. There was nothing about it I liked. And he said, I want you to take the color that you like least and do a drawing using only that color with white or black or whatever, but basically just that color. And I did a drawing in orange using some browns and whites, and I've been in love with orange ever since. So don't rule out a color just because you don't like it. Try using it, and you might be surprised that you might like it. Anyway, I would just these things only cost a few dollars. I would recommend just getting one, because it does pretty much walk you through everything. And I think the more you play with colors, the more you'll you'll branch out and use different ones and experiment and all that. So I hope you guys got something out of it. It's basically comes down to playing with color, and you can, if you don't want to buy these, you can find these online, print them out, and use them. They're great if you're just starting out and you just kind of want to learn maybe what works. But the best thing you can do is just experiment and play, and that's how you're gonna find your way.